Tapinos is our last but not least candidate, and interestingly, one of the standing candidates in the ward at the moment. Lambros, we invite you to reintroduce yourself to the people of Brunswick.
Thank you very much. Firstly, I'd like to thank everyone as well for coming out tonight. And I see many familiar faces here that I've worked with over the last 4 years in various community organisations and various issues. So thank you all for coming. It's always a great opportunity as a candidate to be able to address a town hall meeting or a gallery of people who are interested to know what you've done on council and what you're seeking to do into the future. So yes, my name is Lambros Tapinos. I'm an incumbent councillor. I was elected 4 years ago, and I was very fortunate to have also served a year as mayor of our great city. I've lived in Brunswick my entire life, and I've gone to school here, I've worked here locally, and currently I work at Victoria University in Student Services part-time, whilst I allow a few days per week for my council duties. I guess council, I believe, has done a lot over the last 4 years. It certainly isn't perfect, but we have achieved a lot as a team. And I'm proud to have been involved in a lot of those projects that council has worked on. And to mention a few, I think council has reshaped itself a little bit over the last 4 years. It's starting to focus a little bit more on Brunswick, an area that he had neglected. We've seen a lot of infrastructure improvements. One of the first priorities for me was to redirect some money into our local footpaths, and we were pleased to be able to have done that, and we've almost doubled the footpath budget in my first year, and we've continued to increase it since. Quite a small issue, but a very important one. Being able to put seats along our major pedestrian areas, being able to reinvest in major capital projects like the redevelopment in the Brunswick Barns. We've worked on that a lot. But also the Gillon Oval redevelopment, the new synthetic soccer pitch at Clifton Park, improvements at Jones Park, new playground equipment. So there's been a lot of things that have actually happened in Brunswick, and we've run and improved a lot of our services, from youth services to age services. One of my proudest moments on council was when we were able to actually take a vote and make a decision about our Meals on Wheels service. Council staff had recommended that we shut it down and buy meals, frozen meals from Altona. We stood up and I led the charge then, and we said, no, we want to keep our facility and deliver a hot meal locally to our residents. And we were able to save Meals on Wheels. And that was a very important decision, one that didn't get a lot of press, but certainly a very important decision for thousands of people who use that service. So I'm happy to stand on my record, but I'm also, as a candidate, I've said a lot of good stuff about what council's done. I'm happy to say a little bit about what I find disappointing as well, things that I have advocated for that unfortunately haven't become a reality. The council is 11 councillors, and one councillor can't change everything, and quite often I have found myself on the losing side of the fence in a council chamber. However, I think it's important to emphasise a few things that I've championed and worked very hard for, and a few things that haven't occurred. I've always been a strong champion of the Bluestones issues, protecting our Bluestone laneways, but also our curb and channel. I've campaigned for this ever since I got elected to council, and I'm glad to see that the campaign now has reached such a climax that I am confident, regardless of whether I'm successful or not, or whether anyone here is successful or not, that policy will change, and it will change because of the work of the community over many years. And I was disappointed at that meeting. I was moving the motion to change our policy. I was disappointed that it didn't get up then, but I think now we're on an inevitable course of changing that policy and protecting our Bluestone laneways, and that's a very important issue for me, and very important to see that completed. I think planning, quite often, I sit on the planning committee, quite often disappointed with a lot of the planning outcomes. I think I voted against quite substantial developments in our city. I won't name them, but there are certainly buildings in this municipality that are 2 and 3 and 4 stories less because of some of my work. So look, I was going to mention the budget. I've also think that our rates are high, and I'm happy to take questions on that, and I think we can find savings. But I stand on my record. I hope to receive the support and acknowledgement of the work that's been done, and I look forward to talking to you more during my campaign about the future.